Hi beautiful people, today is like a story time about a manager that I met for a month. We met about a script that I wrote every single week. I'm not gonna give you the manager's name or the company. I don't wanna get in trouble. I don't wanna get blacklisted in the industry. I'm too young for that. But I just wanna tell you what type of managers or agents or executives you might meet with in this industry. So let's start with this. Diversity. Diversity is number one thing that the industry is looking for right now. LGBTQ+, African American, Latin American, Middle Eastern, and female content. Especially they're looking for LGBTQ+, female or diverse writers at the moment. That's what we hear all the time, right? If you're a screenwriter and you're watching this, you probably pitched some of your projects to some executives, and you see in their bios or during the meeting they mention it that they're looking for diverse writers and diverse stories. Now that we did some setups for the story, this manager that I met, we were working on the script that I have. Again, I'm not gonna share you the name of the script, but if you go to my website and if you check it out, you'll probably figure out which one I'm talking about. So don't do that. So we're working on this script that I wrote, and he read the script before the first meeting, before the first week that we met, and he has some feedback for it. First, he did like my science fiction TV show, which is a good start. I was really excited. But then he read this feature film that I have. So this film that I have is about a peasant girl who falls in love with the queen. So it's really obvious which script I'm talking about. So this peasant girl is chosen to compete with other girls, and the winner is going to marry the prince. It's a period drama movie. It's based on an old Ottoman fairy tale because I'm from Turkey and I wanted to use that diversity that I have. In the fairy tale, the queen kept kissing the girl in the mouth, and they tried to explain it like she's adopting her as a daughter and she loves her so much as a daughter. That doesn't make any sense. So I tried to explore that aspect of the fairy tale that they apparently couldn't explore in those old times. This story is in public domain, so it was really good to kind of experiment with my adaptation skills. But because, you know, as a writer, you might get hired to adapt a story or adapt something into a film or a TV show. So it's good to have that muscle and just keep experimenting, keep working on it, keep improving yourself. So that's why I wrote this adaptation feature film. So this manager from this company read my script and he's giving me feedback about it. This meeting was on Zoom because it happened a year ago and it was 2020. We were in lockdown. We met on Zoom, and he slowly builds up to this one big question that he has about my script. Ready? Why does this peasant girl fall in love with the queen when there's a handsome prince? That was the question. And I was like, 'cause she's a lesbian, she loves girls, she loves women, is that a problem? She doesn't want to marry the prince. She's forced to do all of that because of the time period we're in. Then second question was, why is she falling in love with an older woman? Which is fair. The queen is like 10 to 15 years older. The girl is like 22 years old, I think, and the queen is around 35, 38. So she's not that old because you know how back in the days, women used to have kids at a young age. So yeah, his question was, why is she falling in love with an older woman? And I said, she loves the queen because the queen is a very strong woman. This peasant girl has been getting objectified by men. She can't do certain things in society just because she's a woman, and people always try to marry her to someone just to get some business deal. So she's being objectified, and she suddenly goes into this castle and realizes that the queen is experiencing the same things that she's experiencing. This all-man council that the queen has is really being bad to her. They're belittling her, looking down on her, but the queen is always strong. So this peasant girl gets really impressed by the queen, and they start experimenting, they start exploring what they're feeling about each other. That's the story. It's a story about two women feeling lonely in a patriarchal society, getting looked down on, and they finally try to explore what they have here. They finally decide to not listen to what man says they can do. So this manager kept asking me so many questions, making so many points about how my peasant girl has to fall in love with the prince and not with the queen. So he started suggesting things that completely change my story, and I'm usually fine with that. I'm completely okay with that if it's improving the story that I want to tell. But this manager tried to change my story into a romance between a princess and a prince. Like, he even had a new title for the film. So he literally changed my feminist LGBTQ plus project into a princess fairy tale story that we've already seen so many times. And the worst part is, I was so desperate to find a manager at that point because so many of my friends already found their managers at that point, and I was feeling a bit down. I was like, guess I just have to fit into whatever he's saying, so I get a manager and I start my career. So I followed through with it, but I didn't change my script. I literally put my script aside and I started writing whatever story he's telling me to write, a princess fairy tale story. So there I am, writing a stupid story about a naive peasant girl who doesn't know how beautiful she is until the prince tells her how beautiful she is. We have already seen that. Like Cinderella's story and more. I don't know why this manager wanted this type of story, but he just couldn't take women falling in love with women, then overthrowing the patriarchal council, and men being so rude to women as it was in real life. And he just kept trying to redeem every man in my queen's story. Every single man. He just couldn't take it. And I don't know why I never spoke up about this, but this happened. I did give feedback to this person who arranged this manager meeting, but I don't know what they did about it. And I swear to God, this is a very successful manager with a management company in Hollywood. And let me be honest, this is the only time I had this type of an experience. And in the past year, I met over 50 or maybe 100 of managers, producers, and agents, and none of them reacted this way to my queen's story. Most of them really liked it. So thankfully, this is not a common thing, but it happened. I just wanted to share my experience with you guys, just to look out for yourself and don't get sucked into something or someone who is trying to change who you are just to break in. No need for that. I literally wasted a month with this manager only to write what he wants and hope that he would get me somewhere. It's really sad that I wasted this much time on him. Like, I'm gonna repeat this, but him trying to make me write about a peasant girl who doesn't know that she's beautiful. She's this naive, beautiful girl who doesn't know she's pretty, and this prince falls in love with her, which empowers her. No, like, nobody cares about women empowered by men anymore. That's just history. So after wasting a month of my life with this manager, I finally stepped out of that project that he was making me write, and I said no. To be fair, he also escaped from me because apparently I'm not his type. Obvious. That just wasn't gonna work for me. I'm not gonna change who I am. I'm not gonna change my stories just to fit into some manager's mindset. Sure, I will obviously rewrite scripts and revise my scripts according to what managers and agents tell me, and I still do that because I have to do that. But I'm not gonna change who I am. I'm not gonna change the love story between two women that I'm writing into woman and man just because. I will be an indie producer and an indie writer, but I will not change my mission. I will not change what I want to do with my stories. I write about female characters, I write about female empowerment, LGBTQ plus stories, and I write about gender equality. That's my main goal with my stories. So accepted and bye. Thank you so much for watching this little video I made about my experience in the industry with this manager. If you had any weird experiences like this in the industry, please feel free to share it, because we need to know that we're not alone, okay? During that month, I was super lonely and sad because I thought that I wasn't getting made as a screenwriter, or I wasn't getting a manager or an agent just because of who I was and what I was writing about. I felt really bad about it because I thought, wow, I don't think I'm ever gonna make it, because look at this manager's reactions to my story. So I'm trying to encourage you to share your story in the comments below, because that's the point of my channel. I want to share all kinds of experiences that I had, and I want you to share your experiences, because in this industry, so many people feel like they're alone. And we need to know that we're not alone, and we shouldn't be unhappy about these types of things. There is always a place for your story. So support each other, share your experience, and grow together. And subscribe for more story time with managers and producers, because as I told you, I met a lot of them in the past year, and I'm still meeting with a lot of them. I feel like I'm about to get signed. And I will continue to share my journey with every step of the way. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.